I'm Scott Miller. It's the 29th of October 2022, and this is my vlog of daily life in Leon, Nicaragua. And today is Saturday, and we had a lot going on today. So I'm going to do my best to keep you up with everything going on. I'm actually recording this in the middle of the day because there's so much going on. So I started off the day getting up, taking care of the dogs, taking care of the kids, and getting out the door pretty quickly because we are checking out a house this morning. I went up to Fatima with our lawyer and went through the house. It's actually a really beautiful house. I did not film it because there was a family living in it, and so I didn't want to be intrusive and very complex to explain why we were filming. So I skipped filming this morning, unfortunately, but I will tell you a little bit about it. The asking price in Fatima, it is $900. It is a 5-bedroom, and actually the layout is pretty interesting. It has two essentially masters on the first floor. There's a clear master and a clear secondary, but they are both very much master style rooms, very large and right next to each other on corners. So basically a dual master. It also has a maid quarter on the first floor, or a servant's quarters, or however you want to call it. So there's extra space there. That's perfect for a guest room if you don't have a live-in housekeeper or whatever. It has a nice semi-open design, some good light, good air, a cute living room, nothing big, a very nice kitchen. That is actually a big plus, much nicer than even the most expensive places that we've looked at. It's probably the best kitchen I've seen yet. And then the real piece de resistance is the upstairs, which when you up there is a 2-bedroom private suite. It would be absolutely perfect for the girls. 2 giant independent rooms, but they do not have their own bathroom. They have a shared bathroom between the two of them, which is what the girls want. So that works out perfectly. They kind of want a Jack and Jill. This is not exactly that, but instead of a Jack and Jill somewhere on a main floor, this is a second floor that is entirely for them. It has a big living room space that acts as a connector, and it's quite large. Plus each would have a large bedroom. Each bedroom has a balcony, and there's 1 bathroom to share up there, and it's a nice big bathroom. All the bathrooms we saw were quite large. I believe there is 3 main baths and then a powder room for guests. I believe that was the layout. It also has a nice driveway and covered garage area for 2 cars. The huge negatives are that there isn't a lot of extra space. There is a small office that is clearly not a bedroom. It would function as my office. It is a bit limited, but it would work. But the biggest problem is that there is no space for the dogs. The dogs would be perfectly happy in the house, but they have nowhere to go. And so we would be in the same boat that we are now, which is taking them out every time we need to do anything to the park. There is a park really close by, so that is nice. It is an extremely safe and extremely quiet area, so all that is a huge positive for the house, but it's got some pretty big negatives. It also doesn't have a pool, but I've talked to both girls, and neither of them is that enamored with the idea of having a pool. They would both like it. Luciana would like it a little bit. She used to be the one that always wanted it, and Liesl says she'd like it a little. But they say there's other ways we can deal with that, such as building a pool out on our property. They don't want to use it that often. It wasn't that long ago that Chana was in the pool all the time, but I think everyone has forgotten how long that has been. And she doesn't have anyone to swim with, which takes a lot of the fun out of it. So neither girl is really that big into having a pool. And I think getting a place that has one creates more cost and problems than it actually solves. So in that regards, this may actually be better because it has a lower monthly upkeep because we don't have to deal with a pool. Not that pools are that expensive here, but they're not free either. There's a lot of water, there's electricity, there is the upkeep of the chemicals, all that kind of stuff. And it's not nothing, but it's going to be a minimum of $50 a month, possibly quite a bit more. And I don't know if it's actually worth that. And that's on top of whatever price you get. So when I first looked at the house, I was thinking that there was not a possibility at all. But the more that I put thought into it, the more it seems like it may actually work. It'll depend on price. So my plan is to have Dominica go look at it with me in a couple days because everyone was busy this morning, so I ran out to look at it myself to make some determinations. We have other houses to see coming up in the next few days, so we're going to try to fit it in with one of those showings, but none of the others really seem too promising. After the showing, came back to the house, dealt with a few things, rounded up all of the kids, and a whole bunch of us, Alan, Marcella, her kids, Valentina and Tafari, and my kids, Liesl and Luciana, all headed out on foot and walked to the Central Park, where we went to the gastronomic festival here in Leon, which I did manage to film a little bit. Now, we were a bit surprised because this was not what we were expecting. Our anticipation of a gastronomic festival is that this was going to be a lot of food that we could buy or whatever and have samples from around the country and different things. So we were really excited about that. The kids were really looking forward to getting food at the festival, and once we got there, we realized pretty quickly it was a food competition festival where there was cooks doing very small scale cooking, representing many different regions, Esteli, Madrid, Chinandega, and so forth, and they each had a booth set up and decorations and stuff, so it was interesting to walk through, but you could walk through in 2 or 3 minutes. It was very quick and very small, and all of the food was just for a competition. As the attendees, you didn't get to try or really even see any of the food. So that was not at all what we were expecting. So that was a pretty big disappointment. I did walk through and film. There was some live music and dancing and different demonstrations. There was the competition itself, and of course, some vendors were set up doing sales of all the normal stuff, house decorations and jewelry and bracelets and wallets and hats and clothes and all those kinds of things. So I walked through that just a little bit, but overall it was very small. We knew it was going to be small. It's not a big event, and but sadly not the kind of event we were planning on. Buenas tardes. So we went there, walked through, and the kids were like, but we're hungry. So we went right next to the festival is El Sesteo, because it was right on Central Park. So we just went into El Sesteo and got a big lunch there. And then of course the girls wanted to go to Gasto to get smoothies. So we went over there and got smoothies, and they all hung out there while I filmed the festival. And that is where we are right now. I am on my way back. Everyone else took a taxi to regroup at the house. There wasn't enough room, so I am walking because I can do that, and it worked out perfectly because it gave me just enough time to get a video for all of you. Where we are headed now, it is going to be out to the beach. We have a international DJ festival happening at the Simple Bar and Grill. We have 4 international DJs are in. I think they may all just be from the United States, but DJs have flown in for a event at the beach. All at the Simple Beach and the Surf Lodge and the Beach Bar and Grill. And that is at 4 o'clock, but we're just pretty much gonna get ready and go, because by the time we get there, it's gonna be like 3:30 anyway. It is 2:10 right now as I record this, and it takes at least 30 minutes to get out to the beach. So we might as well get moving. My girls do not want to go to the beach. They are going to stay home. They are very excited because they have the new video game, Detroit Becoming Human. It's not exactly a new game, new to them. I have no idea what triggered this, but Luciana decided this is a game she just had to have, and she hadn't really told me about it. And then when she told me about it, she almost immediately discovered that it was 50% off on Epic for the whatever Epic sale is going on right now, the Halloween sale, I think. And she's like, this is one of those games she really researched and is really confident that she wants. So they played a demo of it last night, and we're like, yeah, we really want this game. So bought them the game today. It has downloaded. Liesl spent the morning getting it installed and ready, and they're going to stay at the house with the dogs and the housekeeper, Paula, and play that all day. Really, that is their day. They're going to be playing that the entire day. And then at some point, we're not going to stay for the entire DJ festival because we have other things to do. Larry Emerson, who I've shown a number of times on the show, is playing at Food Rock Ave here in Leon for the Halloween show this evening starting around 6. We're not going to go to be there right as he opens, but we are going to get there during his show, and we're going to go hang out and see that this evening. That is the plan. So there's a lot going on. It is a busy day of things here in Leon. So I am just about to get ready to go to the beach, so I'm going to teleport with you over there. All right, we're trying out something a little bit different because I needed to film from here rather than from out on the beach. We just had a lot going on today. So let's see how this looks. I'm trying a couple different camera setups. Like I said, I recorded an entire video for today, not realizing I had already recorded an entire video for today. So some things I said, like I'm trying out some different lighting setups, and I plan on going to the United States and getting new lighting as part of the stuff I get in December. That's really high on my list of things we need to shake up because I don't have a lot of great lighting, and building a new indoor studio is something we really hope to do in a new house. One of the reasons why we looked at the house this morning. So I'm doing this in my office right now. I'm on the Olympus EM1. So we went out to the beach, like I said, about 4 o'clock. First of all, please remember to like and subscribe. Any comments you have, questions, put them down in that section below. If you'd like to sponsor the show, you can buy me a coffee. That comes directly to me. And of course, it makes a huge difference if you guys share this, tell your friends about it, put it on social media. We're getting new people, but getting new people at a faster pace, getting the word out there is a really big deal. So if you can tell people about the show, that really helps, seriously. And we're going to do the throwback. We're just going to mix it in. But we went to the beach, got out there not too badly. It was like 4:30. They were already going. It was a struggle to get out there just because of work. It always is. It always takes so much to get out. There's so many things going on. We got out to the beach and we had to be back pretty quickly because Larry Emerson is playing tonight, as I said, in the city. So we wanted to see that too. We had just too many things in one day. It was a totally crazy day. 4 major things in a single day. When there's kids to deal with and lots of people coordinating and everything, it's very, very hard. So we went to the beach and got about an hour there, just enough time to hang out, get a snack, have a couple drinks, see the DJ, and kind of check everything out, make sure everyone was good, drop off Marcella's kids who were hanging out there, and like, that was it. Like, it was just enough time for everyone to kind of do what needed to be done. And by like 6:15, 6:30, had dinner for my kids. We're heading back to Leon, dropped off food for the kids, and ran directly to Food Rock Ave, where Larry Emerson was playing tonight. And Alan and Anna already had a good table and were waiting for us. It was crazy trying to get anything, like even watching the show. It's hard to remember we went and saw a show because it was so busy. And all the restaurants have changed there. It's a food court. It's like a gastro park, a real small one right here in Leon. It's very cool. And they focus on having live music and that kind of stuff. And I've talked about it a bit in the past, but their pizza place, Rock Munchies, is an anchor and is part of their theme. They're a chain called Rock Munchies, and that they're at Food Rock Ave works out really well. The Nika taco place that used to be there and was one of the original stores has been gone now for some time, which is unfortunate. It was owned by the brother of the person who started the whole thing, but I haven't seen him in a while. I think he may have gone back to work on cruise ships, which is what he does most of the time. There used to be a Turkish place that is now gone and has been replaced by something I don't even remember, something not very memorable. They had like nothing I was interested in. A new burger place has gone in. Alan got that and said it was the best buffalo chicken burger that he can remember getting, possibly the best he's ever had anywhere, like including the US, not just the best in Nicaragua. That's something. It is worth noting, buffalo sauce, which I've mentioned recently on the show, is actually really popular here. You find it almost everywhere. It's not like you would imagine that, like, who would even have heard of it? No, it's quite well known, and you can get it on a lot of things. And I got pizza because that's what I really like. And the pizza there is absolutely fantastic. It's one of the 4 or 5 in Leon that I really, really like. And they're all pretty different styles. Like Valenti's has a thicker crust, really good. We can get Pizza Hut. I'm certainly not a Pizza Hut fan, especially having worked there for a number of years, but they're okay. Sometimes you get a hankering for an American pizza and you can get that flavor. Our Oasis del Sabor does an amazing stuffed crust. We have a few options. There's a few different pizzas we like to get, and they're enough different that getting one doesn't make me not want to get another. So that's pretty nice. We don't have all the pizza variety you would want like back in New York or something, but we may be better than we had in Texas, or at least comparable. And of course, we don't have Pizza Valle like they have in Granada. I will get that pretty soon when I will be there, because you just need Pizza Valle when you're in Granada. So we had a really nice evening hanging out there, but we didn't hang out super late because I had to get back to the kids and I needed to walk the dogs, and it had been just such a busy day. We were, all 4 of us were really tired. And so didn't even stay for all of Larry's set, but we did want to be there to be supportive and see most of it. We definitely saw most of the show and had a nice dinner and enjoyed that. And he saw us and waved and everything before we left. It's nice that we know everybody. And then that was it, calling it a night. The girls have been playing every moment that they weren't out doing something today. Detroit Become Human. They love this video game. It was $20, which is a really expensive video game purchase for us. Most are between $1 and $5. So to have a game that costs this much is pretty rare. But they really loving this game, and they're going to have it finished pretty soon. And both girls, Liesel is playing it and Luciana is like assisting, much as we do when we play like Nancy Drew, but it's just the 2 of them. But they're really anxious for me to play it in the future, so they're not letting me see any of it now so that I can play the whole thing myself in the future. definitely a game that I think is strong on story. It's like a deep sci-fi with a lot of like tough decision making kind of things. What little bit I saw of it looks really impressive. So I'm looking forward to playing it, and I'm really glad that this is a game that they found and worked out so well for them. Luciana is really spot on. If she does research and decides a game is something that they need, she has been essentially 100% consistent that even if she decides we need to spend a lot of money on a game, she always ends up playing it a lot. And that takes us to the throwback for October 29th, 2019. 4 days, I believe, left to go. No, it must be 3 days left to go until we're in Nicaragua. 3 years ago, remember, this is the throwback. And big thing today, Liesel's still working on her RPG maker like all day. But it's also worth noting that a really big thing I put in the show all those years ago, one, it's my last day before the family heads to Houston. They went down for Halloween. We're doing Halloween tomorrow here, so that lines up that in both cases this was the night before Halloween celebrations. But in the show 3 years ago, I had talked about how much money the girls spent on The Sims 4, but how much they played it. It has been 3 more years, and The Sims 4 is still a consistent game that they play all the time, and both of them have been playing it within the last 2 weeks for a number of hours, possibly 12 or more. So even 3 years after it had been an established thing they spent a lot of money on and played a lot, they have put in probably thousands of additional hours playing that game since that time. And Dominica has played it too, and other friends have played it. Our copy, like, have borrowed it. It gets so much usage. So that Detroit Become Human, that she made a good call on that. She's been making these calls on what games matter to her for a long time. One of the big ones was Slime Rancher and Slime Rancher 2. In both cases, she had me get them basically on release day. Totally worth it. The number of hours that they've put into that game justifies it 100 times over. So that's where we were. I was pretty much just working and getting ready to go to Nicaragua. It's so weird to me to be looking back on getting ready to go to Nicaragua, and now we've lived here for the majority of the time since then. That's pretty wild that most of the time since we started the vlog has been in Nicaragua. But when we started the vlog, we weren't planning on living in Nicaragua. So that's consistently pretty cool for me. All right, that is it for the show. You've already been told to like and subscribe. You know what to do. That is all that we have, and I will see all of you for Halloween celebrations here in Leon, Nicaragua tomorrow.